Alright, good evening, everybody. First of all, I'd like to offer my sincere apologies for that horrific video I made last weekend. I don't know what was wrong. I was having all kinds of technical difficulties and everything else. So I just want to apologize. Hopefully, this week goes a lot smoother. So let's find out if it does or not. Jumping in verse 4:18, it's of Mark. I'm sorry. It says, "And these are they which are sown among the thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of the world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and lust of other things, entering in, choke the word, and it becomes unfruitful. These are they who worship with us every Sunday, yet they are unfruitful and don't grow. They always care more about the world. They care more about that game than they do the church." Okay, they'll miss a church service in a minute for a game. Okay, yeah, you know they will. We've seen them. They care more about that game than they do the church. They care more about their career than the church. They will, yeah, they will they'll put on a big show. They'll shout, clap, and everything else. Yet that swing shift, chasing status instead of God, is always first. Okay? Studying and pursuing the check is always first. Okay? Pursuing the check instead of his wife becomes the traditional thing for him to do. Okay? We all know these people. I've seen them time and time again. But let me continue. They nurture their credit score and income and the chance of a promotion, yet neglect their children, especially the daughters. Notice I'm being specific here. I'm saying him and daughters, because most of the time this affects, it's the man who's chasing the career more than the woman. Well, at least traditionally. Okay? And statistics point out that the daughter is emotionally devastated by this. And she may not even know it. It may be subconsciously. Okay, you know what I'm saying. Statistics state females who grow up in homes like this have a divorce rate of over 70%. Over 70%. And his grandchildren are over 80% likely not to be Christian. Okay? You see. Let me continue. And his children, especially the daughter, will be just like him, except she will have a higher divorce rate, as I've stated. Because see, he's working. Okay? He has the cares of the world. So he's continually working. I understand we have those who work in medicine, law enforcement. I understand we should have a high amount of respect for them and pray for them. I understand those people. But there's some who have the choice not to do it or to do it. And they choose the cares of the world rather than their family and God. Or should I say God, growing close to God so they can lead their family. Okay? You see, I just said, I just spoke of the daughter. You see, she is growing up in a semi-fatherless home. Because you see, they're married. Mother and father is married. He had her, but yeah, he's always working. So he's never there. She never sees a proper display in the home. Just like Christian counselors say she should. Okay, I mean, read books like from authors like Dr. Dobson. We, as men, are not displaying the kind of affection that our daughters need to see in us. So, as I said, because of this, her divorce rate will be over 70%. Okay? Because since love was never truly displayed, she can't recognize it, even if it's right in front of her, and pursues her for years. She doesn't know how to handle it. Okay? This is why we see women in the church divorced 2, 3, 4 times. It can be traced back to their father. Okay? And his conduct. But yet we never see it. I'm going off script here, but I'm going to try to wing this. This is sent in my notes. But we never see it. Because, I mean, we see it, but we don't understand it. Because we're always telling the daughter that girls are made up of sugar, you know, all that, everything nice. You know, not to say girls aren't sweet. But we also adopt an attitude that if something goes wrong, then the man isn't worthy of her. Okay? So we never practice self-reflection. You see what I'm saying? I remember watching Joel Osteen one day, and he spoke of this woman coming up to him during a service. She was crying and everything else. He asked her what was wrong, and she said, "Pastor, I need prayer. I'm about to get married for the 4th time. I need you to pray that this marriage works out." He said, "You know, I felt the Spirit of God come over me." And I looked at that woman and I said, "I can't do that." He said this woman turned white, pale. Her jaw dropped and she started stammering and everything else and asked why. He said, "Madam, there's one thing that you and all your relationships have in common. You." You see, she never practiced self-reflection. And that's one thing we don't do enough in our society, but a lot of women who grew up in this type of home doesn't do it. Because first, like I said, she's never shown love. Displayed proper biblical love. Then she's told that she's an angel, that girls are sweet all the time. So nothing becomes her fault. Okay? Why? Because the father isn't there to lead. He isn't there. Well, let me move on. So I'm too far off script. I'll come back to that in a minute. All right, next part. It says, all right, notice it says the cares of the world choke the word, and it becomes unfruitful. All right, did you hear that? It doesn't say the cares of the world takes away the word, destroys the word. It says it chokes the word and it becomes unfruitful, meaning the word is still there. The cares didn't remove the word, but made it unfruitful. It became unfruitful in leading his family, which is what I was about to say. You see, the man becomes so entrenched in the promotion, the hours, the social status. He isn't there to read the Bible. I'm sorry, let me correct that. He reads the Bible, but he isn't there to study it, to dive deep in the Word through study, so that he might lead and explain the secrets of Scripture to his family. He isn't there to study things of life, so he can explain it to his young lady, his daughter, and his family. So you see, there's no fruit of any kind. And he doesn't see it because he himself has no fruit. Because he's too busy, what? Chasing after the cares of the world. He's too busy chasing after that promotion. As I've already said, and I'm repeating myself again, chasing after that promotion. That credit score. Yes, I understand credit can be very important. But at what cost? At what cost? Yes, a nice home is important, but at what cost? You see, we're not counting the cost. We focus on the cares of the world. And then it becomes a cycle that continues on and on. His children, especially the daughter, become overly concerned with the cares of the world. Yes, they and she go to church Sunday morning. The pastor's going to see her walking in the door every Sunday morning. The pastor's going to see her opening her Bible. But Monday through Saturday, they have world syndrome. Chasing wealth instead of God's plan. Okay, this is why they can never find that mate. Okay, that's why that divorce rate is 70%. Okay, they're too busy chasing the world, the wealth, instead of God's plan, trusting their own abilities instead of Christ, and totally missing what God has for them. I've seen it time and time again. But anyhow, 20. And these are they which are sown on good ground, such as hear the word and receive it, bring forth fruit, some 30, some 30-fold. My mind started wandering there. I'm sorry. Some 30-fold, some 60, and some 100. This is good seed on a good heart, which is really what we're talking about. This will bring good fruit, okay? Good seed on a good heart will bring good fruit. Love for the word, a love to study the Word. They love to share the gospel. Just start naming a few right off the top of my head. "21. And he said to them, Is a candle brought to be put under a bushel or under a bed, and not set on a candlestick? This seems so obvious. You don't light a candle and stick it under something. I mean, this seems obvious. You don't, yeah, okay. A candle is meant to be seen. Okay. Anyhow, isn't it ironic? We sing about letting our light shine as children, yet we don't as adults. We don't as adults. We cover up the candle to chase our career. Okay, we don't let our light shine at work so that others know that Christianity is more important to us than the things of the world. We don't dive deep into the Word so we may bear fruit and be light to the world and our loved ones. Okay, we don't dive deep so that we can be a light to our children. That daughter I was just speaking of. Why don't we dive deep? Because we're too concerned about the cares of the world. Yet again, that promotion. Not saying anything bad about credit scores, but we're chasing credit scores. We gotta have that 800 credit score instead of settling for the 725. Okay. 22. For there is nothing hid which shall not be manifested, neither was there anything kept secret, but it should come abroad. Everything will be brought to light. You honestly think Christ will not bring those things to light that we do wrong? You honestly think that? Honestly think that? Our lack of fruit, growth, and light will all be brought to light. If you watch a person long enough, also the truth will come out to the light. There's no hiding it. Time and time again, you watch them long enough, you will see it. 23, and this is the last verse. If any man has ears to hear, let him hear. Another strange statement by our Lord. I mean, this may seem like a very strange statement. It would seem that unless you're deaf, you can hear. But you would be surprised. You can talk with someone or some people regarding some very important topics. Their favorite topic. And it would be like you're talking two different dialects. It'd be like you're talking to that wall there in your house. You swear you're talking two different dialects. I've seen it in Christianity. You teach, okay? You teach, or a preacher preaches. And the Monday through Saturday clown show continues right when they leave the church. And you know this is true. But I'm going to end here. Good night and God bless you.